Right now, there is a massive scramble going on. It's a new gold rush, and the prize is dominance in artificial intelligence. And at the very center of it all, you've got these incredibly complex partnerships forming between the absolute titans of tech and the most innovative AI startups. So the big question is, are these deals just fueling the next wave of innovation, or are they a much more subtle power play to control the future? Let's get into it and break down what's really going on here.
5 days. That is all the time it took for ChatGPT to hit 1 million users. Now, just to put that into perspective, it took a platform like Instagram 2.5 years to get to that same number. This wasn't just another popular app launch. No, this was a clear signal of a massive technological shift, and it kicked off an industry-wide race that is completely reshaping technology as we know it.
And all this frantic activity? Yeah, it's got regulators pretty worried. The main concern is that these tech giants are using new, really creative types of deals to cement their dominance in AI, all while cleverly sidestepping the usual regulatory red tape. And they've got a name for these deals: pseudo-acquisitions.
So what exactly is a pseudo-acquisition? Well, it's not a straightforward buyout. This quote puts it perfectly. It's more like a strategic chess match. The big tech companies aren't buying the whole company. Instead, they're using things like investments, talent poaching, and licensing deals to gain influence and get access to that cutting-edge tech. It's like they're controlling the most important pieces on the board without ever officially owning them.
So how does this chess match actually play out? Well, the playbook has a few key moves. First, you forge these clever, complex partnerships. Then, you've got something called acqui-hires. That's where a giant buys a startup, not for its product, but just for its people, scooping up the smartest minds in the field. They also license key technologies, which gives them access to all the magic without any of the merger paperwork. And the result of all this? They gain this enormous influence, and they concentrate the world's top AI talent inside just a handful of major companies, all while staying completely under the radar of regulators.
And this is a huge shift from how things used to be done. For more than a decade, the strategy was pretty simple. If you see a promising AI company, you just buy it. Think about Apple buying Siri way back in 2010, or Google snapping up the then-unknown startup DeepMind in 2014. These were clear, straightforward acquisitions. But now, with regulators watching every single move, the whole game has had to change.
But hold on a second. Is this really the threat it sounds like? Let's flip the coin and look at the other side of this. Because there's a really strong argument to be made that these partnerships aren't about squashing competition at all. In fact, they might just be the very engine that's driving innovation forward in this incredibly expensive and competitive field.
Okay, so here's the argument. Building advanced AI is just fantastically, mind-bogglingly expensive. Startups need two things they almost never have: huge amounts of cash and access to just vast computing power. Well, these partnerships provide both. A deal with a tech giant gives a startup the capital and the cloud infrastructure it desperately needs to scale up, test its models, and then get its products out to millions of users, like overnight. So from this point of view, these deals don't kill competition, they actually create it.
And you can see this new playbook in action everywhere. Just look at these deals. You've got Microsoft's famous multi-billion-dollar partnership with OpenAI, Amazon's investment in Anthropic, which came as convertible notes, not a controlling stake, Google's acqui-hire of key staff from Windsurf, which was combined with a big licensing deal. And then there's Meta, taking a huge 49% stake in Scale AI. But, and this is the crucial part, it's a non-voting stake. See? These aren't takeovers. They're intricate, strategic alliances.
So with all these clever and complex deals going on, what are the regulators doing? Well, they are definitely looking. Authorities in the US, the UK, and the EU have all launched inquiries. They've demanded tons of documents and scrutinized these partnerships. But so far, they've really struggled to find any concrete evidence that these deals are actually breaking competition laws or causing real harm to the market. In fact, most investigations have concluded that the deals don't even meet the legal definition of a merger. Okay, and this is where our whole story takes a really interesting turn. Because what if this isn't just about which company has the best chatbot or who has the biggest market share? What if the stakes are much, much higher than that?
To really understand what's at stake here, we need to zoom out from the corporate boardroom and look at the global stage. Because this isn't just a business competition anymore. It's quickly becoming a geopolitical arms race.
This quote just nails it. It reframes the whole debate. The idea of sovereign AI means a nation controlling its own AI infrastructure, its own data, and its own talent.
Governments around the world now see AI leadership as absolutely essential for national security, for economic power, and for global influence. It's no longer just about companies competing. It's about nations competing for technological supremacy.
Seriously, think of it like a modern-day Manhattan Project. During World War II, the US government pulled together the top scientists in all of industry to build the atomic bomb. Well, today, we're seeing a very similar alignment. Tech executives have a direct line to government leaders precisely because developing world-leading AI is now seen as being just as vital to national power as developing nuclear capabilities was back in the 20th century.
So, if we accept that this is a new kind of arms race, it leads us to a really profound question about the future that we're all racing toward. This is about the kind of world that we are building right now, and it presents a fundamental decision for all of us.
According to thinkers like the late Henry Kissinger, humanity is standing at a fork in the road. On one side, you have the path of co-evolution. This is where we would integrate AI directly into our lives, maybe even our biology, to transcend our human limitations. It's a very high-risk, high-reward path, and it's one that might not be reversible. Then there's the other path, coexistence. Here, we'd use AI as a powerful tool, but always maintain a clear distinction, focusing on preserving human values and defining what makes us unique. It's a much more cautious approach.
And that brings us to the ultimate question. When we look at these multi-billion-dollar partnerships, what are we really seeing? Are they the building blocks of a more innovative and competitive future, or are they the foundations of a powerful new kind of monopoly? Or are we just watching the opening moves in a global race to build something that will fundamentally change what it even means to be human? The choice of what future we build is being made right now, inside these very deals.